Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos al canal, mi nombre es Belnior y bueno, vamos a seguir a seguir jugando en el juego de Vampyr. Y bueno, vamos a ver si somos capaces de fabricar alguna cosa, mejorar algo, o hacer algo, yo qué sé, tío, tenemos un montón de cosas. En la mano izquierda tenemos la estaca y el cuchillo. Reciclamos. Que aquí uno tío. Vale, ya hemos reciclado todo. Pero aquí, por ejemplo, solo podemos mejorar las armas. ¿Le puedo mejorar la estaca? Sí, pero solo a nivel 2, tío. ¿Qué es lo que hace? Aturdimiento 15. Aturdimiento aumentado. Suma 3 puntos al aturdimiento al acertar a un objetivo con un arma. O lo otro es... reduce el consumo de energía un 10%. Vamos a mejorarlo un poco. Y vamos a poner este. Para no quedarme sin energía. Que muchas veces me quedo sin energía, tío. Y esto lo podemos mejorar a nivel 3, ¿no? Pues no podemos mejorar mucho más. Bueno, nos habíamos quedado en... habla con Harriet en el hospital. Ya. Codeína. Y codeína. Bueno, eso es bueno. Vamos encontrando nuevas cositas, parece ser. Hostia, pues ahora voy a tener que darme la vuelta. Otra vez toda la vuelta al hospital para encontrar más cosas, tío. No me jodas. Pues sí. Ferroso, pues sí, va un montón de cosas, tío. Y aquí arriba, el otro lado estaba cerrado, aquí igual. Vale, vale. Harriet está metida aquí. Ah, pero esto antes, claro, esto antes estaba cerrada, tío.
Read with no respect. What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight. I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones? Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Bolsa pequeña de trastos. Ah, no, con trastos.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Y aquí hay más cositas, tío. Joder, ahora va a estar todo el hospital lleno de cosas, tío. Claro. Bueno, por lo menos así me voy a poder hacer las cosas, coño. ¿Ya se ha ido? No, este no se ha ido todavía. Bueno, vamos a ir hablando con las enfermeras. Se supone que hay una a 31 metros, otra a 24. Vamos a hablar con esta que está aquí. Sí. Aquí, coño.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
What? Oh, aquí esto también. Hola. No hay cositas. Aquí también, tío. Obvio.
I thought last summer's epidemic was difficult.
¿Y dónde coño se ha ido la tía esta, tío? Aquí abajo. Gol. Escuchar a escondidas. Pulsa V para activar tus sentidos. Si un ciudadano actúa de forma sospechosa, su corrección desprenderá un brillo muy característico. Si observas al ciudadano, podrás desbloquear una interacción especial. Busca a Dorothy Crane.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Al mafioso de las alcantarillas, tío. Bueno, pero en las alcantarillas se supone que también estaba el otro muchacho, ¿no? El que buscaba al amigo, no sé qué narices, tío. Vale.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Hay un escal. Uno dice. Me he caído y casi me revienta. Ya. Garrote con púas corriente, arma de 2 manos. Para salir, ¿no? ¿Dónde coño está el pavo, tío? Ah, otro menos. Poner ratas porque tengo toda la vida. Revisión del dragón, juego coleccionable. Quiero a la pinta tiene esto, ¿no? Hostia. Hombre lobo, tío, venga.
What sort of creature is this?
¡Ah, que me ha dado! ¡Uy! ¡Oh! Cabrón, tío. Bueno. Ya, me dio, coño. Vale, le he dado una. Vale, le he dado otra. Cabrón. Vale, necesito una más. Bueno, sangre. ¡Ah! ¿Qué ha pasado ahí? Joder, coño. Cabrón, tío. Vale, le he dado. ¡Oh, mierda! Vale. Yo. Allá estés. Vale, me curo. Ah, mierda, tío. Ahora sí. Ya. Voy ya. Vale. Voy ya. Coño. Ah, tío. Venga. No, ¿qué hace? You're crazy. Ese que basado, tío.
Here's what's
Toma
left.
ya.
Not a lot to check, but I should anyway.
Tía, la madre que te parió. Cupón de la enfermera Crane. Si estás enfermo y no tienes dinero, seas quien seas, venga de donde vengas, ven a ver a Dorotea para recibir ayuda. No es ningún engaño, gratis, no hacemos preguntas. Busca la casa de Darío Petrescu y entrega este cupón.
Some voucher for a free checkup in Whitechapel. What is Nurse Crane up to? I really must find her.
¡Yepa! Bueno, pues por aquí creo que está todo hecho. Ciudadano en apuros. Cuidado, es posible que un ciudadano en apuros no sobreviva hasta la próxima noche. Ve a ver cómo está. Mierda de los escaleros, tío. ¡Ah! ¡No! ¡Ay, coño! Verás tú, leche. Como tiene narices, tío. Que me haya enfrentado un hombre lobo y lo haya matado, tío, y me fuera a matar un bicho de esto, un escal de esto de mierda, tío.
Are you injured, sir?
Help me get out of here. I need to get out.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay, I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend Newton sent me to help you. Do you remember him?
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite invigorating. I'm sure you'll feel better if you do.
Tío, tiene cefalea. Ciudadano rescatado. Ha rescatado a un ciudadano. Volverá a su distrito la noche siguiente.
Are you sure you're all right, sir?
Tío, que no quería hablar con Pepe Luis hombre, por favor. Eso, es lo que quería hacer.
Are you sure you're all right?
Hacho, ya me ha salido el hacho, tío. Pero es que... Hijo. Me voy a salir. De verdad, tío, si me llega a matar la mierda de los escales esos, tío. Ya voy a necesitar un poquito más de vida. Voy a tener que pillar más vida porque esto ya me tengo unas seriously. Tía, ya los tenemos por todos lados, coño.
Pembroke is so lucky to have Dr. Reed.
Qué cruzazo. Vamos a ver. Vamos a ver solo nivel 8. Hostia, estado del distrito grave. Por aquí por donde estaba yo antes, ¿no? Que estaban los bichos estos de nivel tan alto, tío. Estos son nivel 8, o sea, nivel 11 o 12, tío. la granada. ¡Hostia! ¿Pero qué co...? ¡Hostia puta! Pero tío, pero estos tirantes, pero ¿qué es esta mierda, tío? Hostia, ahí se van, tío, por más. Madre que parió a los dos. Ya me tienes muertito ahí. Ah, mira, hostia, un escondite nuevo, tío. Mola, mola. Vamos descubriendo cositas, tío. Está 91. Es que nada más que tengo 1200 puntos, tío. Pues, me ha parecido ver algo ahí, tío. Como así imaginación mía, ¿no? Pues... Por aquí parece que no hay nada más. Pero es que aquí fue donde salió el hombre lobo, tío. Y si ya me ha costado uno de nivel...
Believe I'm doing this.
A ver, tío. O eso o comes humano. Así que elige. No toques arte. Tía, estos son 3. Tía, la cosa... la cosa está cada vez más divertida, ¿eh? Hola. Venga, tío.
Shit, that leech is fast!
¿En serio, tío? Hostia, Roger el muro, tío. O sea que esto es una especie de boss. Hostia. Oye. Está la cosa... Está la cosa jodida, Por aquí no. Hostia, pues estoy...
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Hostias.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Vamos a ver el Petrescu este, tío.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a
Welcome,
look.
sir.
Don't be afraid.
Please, take a browse of my wares. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Joder.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? I always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Bueno, eso es importante. Hemos descubierto
Goodbye
cositas.
for now, Mr. Lewis. Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson's son, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Bueno, pues ya está.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Si me ha dado pistas, puedo hablar con el se
Fancy
supone.
buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you? Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Without making excuses for him, it's safe to say that despair can poison even the sanest mind.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Nos ha hablado de su mujer.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough, like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
Tratamiento de agotamiento, pero claro, no
I will
tengo
see
nada.
you later.
Tengo que hacerlo, tío. Va ahí
Forgive my bluntness, young man,
curando.
but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
This place is awful, I agree. But does that not mean your situation can only improve?
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
Sí, señor.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
Goodbye, young man. Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
What? Caja grande de pastillas. Yo me meto aquí en casa de la peña a robarle, tío. ¿No está aquí el coloso Joe ese?
It's locked.
Bueno, encontramos aquí en casa la gente y le robamos, tío. Carta de rechazo de empleo. Y el tema este de las cartas y eso, tío. La hermandad. No, hostia, aquí tengo un montón de cartas, tío. Hostia. Este ya lo he visto. Este también lo he visto. Informe de defunción, este también lo he visto. Debilidad por la sangre, sí, este también lo vi. Este no lo he visto. Daño neurológico irreversible, tío. La guardia de Priwen. Bueno. La fotografía, las órdenes de Priwen y el diario sangriento, que ya lo he visto también. Bueno, pues ya nos hemos enterado de alguna cosita. Vale. Vamos descubriendo muchas cositas de la gente. Aquí puedo salir yo. Hala.
Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours for Christ. Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus.
Que no era tía que quería
Goodbye
hablar.
for now, Mr. Lewis.
Adiós. No era a ti con quien quería hablar, era con este.
Cheap price, good quality.
You again? What do you want this time?
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I make some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. People won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak, and there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Joder. Vale.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
¿Y este qué hace aquí, tío?
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Tío, qué fuerte, tío.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in our country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. What do you mean when you say that I am quite a Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
¿Qué quiere que más?
Science and progress are our only hope against the monstrosity hidden behind this epidemic.
See, Doctor? Now you acknowledge the presence of evil within the city's walls. Now you start to admit the truth.
Error de pista, vaya hombre. Y no se puede
Tell me,
preguntar otra vez.
God will.
Science.
See, Doctor?
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I sent him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Madre mía, cómo está este también.
I have heard enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
I confess, I share your point of view, Doctor.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
It's confidential. Speaking as a doctor, I'm sure you understand.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nithercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nithercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
Es muda. ¿Pudiera ser?
Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Very well. Goodbye then.
Vale, bueno, vamos encontrando gente. Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos al canal. Mi nombre es Belnior y bueno, vamos a hacer un pequeño... Bueno, pues el vídeo, vamos a hacer un corte aquí para dividir este capítulo en 2 capítulos porque me ha quedado enorme en tiempo, porque claro, el problema que tiene este juego es que como tienes que hablar con todos los personajes, hacer todas las líneas de diálogo, agotarlas, hablar y tal, y hacer cosas, pues claro, al final pues el vídeo que había grabado este capítulo entero es de 2 horas entero, entonces no puedo subiros un vídeo de 2 horas para un solo capítulo porque, madre mía, Dios, aburriría a cualquiera. Entonces lo he dividido en 2 capítulos de 1 hora cada uno, así que en este terminaría el primer capítulo, digamos, la primera parte del capítulo de 1 hora, se corta Whitechapel, como habéis visto, más o menos a la mitad, y bueno, y queda la segunda parte que os la subiré también y que es bastante interesante. La verdad es que esta trama de Whitechapel está muy chula, así que si os ha gustado el vídeo dadle a like, si no estáis suscritos suscribíos, que ya sabéis que se agradece muchísimo, compartid el vídeo si os ha servido y si os ha gustado para que otros puedan disfrutarlo también, y nada, como siempre os digo, un saludito para todos.